Hello boyos, Rich Boy J here back in with another video, and this is going to be part 17 of the Vardos mock build series. I got a great amount of progress done, as you can clearly see behind me. That building right there I worked on quite a bit, and I also started working on the propaganda posters. I went through so much to make it possible to put those things in the mock, so I really do hope that you guys like it, but I'll get further into that story later on in the video. Before I get into the actual video, I do want to say very special thanks to all the people who donated this week on the live stream. We had quite a few donators, and it was just a great stream overall, so I do want to give special thanks to these people right here. First and foremost, Legosoldier 82, very thankful for what you did. Thank you so much. Also, Commander Cody's left shoulder, Garrett, GrayBrickProductions, Cosmic Brick 44, SW Brick 75, Screamin Seagull, Garrett Tapal, Lego Boy 2405, and of course, Zandie Boi. Special thanks to all of you guys. And like I always say, if you guys aren't tuning into the live streams, I definitely urge you to do so. Not only is it a great time for you guys to see the mock early before this week's update, but also it's a great time for you just to hang around with a bunch of people and talk Lego Star Wars. It's always a really fun time. So yeah, like I said, worked a lot on that building over there, got some propaganda posters to show you guys, and I'm really happy with the progress I'm making. These buildings are really just kind of flying up. One of the more annoying things is that the 3 orders that I placed on Monday this week, one of them did come in, but it was the smallest order, and it had one type of piece in it, so it wasn't the most useful order by itself. And the other 2 haven't even shipped yet, so hopefully I'll get them in before the next update, and I'll be able to actually finish up the 2 buildings from last week's update. But nonetheless, I still was able to get a lot of progress done, and I am glad to show you it. So without further ado, let's jump right into it, guys. First things first, let's take a look at the propaganda poster here near the Boyo Lounge. Someone suggested that I take that Imperial propaganda poster of myself and put this near the Boyo Lounge, considering, you know, it makes sense for the placement, and I figured, okay, why not do that? So, got my poster in there. There is actually a light behind it. You can see that's what kind of illuminates it. I know through the camera it looks like especially bright. Trust me, it does not look that bright in person. It's much easier to make out exactly what it is in real life, so yeah, I think it looks pretty freaking cool. It's so awesome to finally have that there, and I do think it really does help kind of set the scene for Vardos. I'm so glad that's finally in there, because now I can finally close up this giant gaping hole right there that I had previously had to leave open in order to allow myself access to the inside of there. But now that it's finally in there, I can close that up, and I can really make this area look complete, which means that I can also, in turn, make this area under this giant bucket of parts complete. This is really going to be like a smaller courtyard. I think I'm going to put like one of those Vardos trees in the middle of this. I did get an order in which had the leaf pieces, the dark red ones, so I'll actually be able to work on that pretty soon. So you guys will hopefully be able to see that in the next update, and I can just clear all these parts off of here, and literally this entire section right here can just be completely done. That will make me a very happy camper. So that's going to finish up over here. Let's go ahead and move to the really main event of the video. Alright, and this building right here is what I primarily worked on this week. I'm really happy with the progress that I was able to make on this. These buildings are not a quick thing to kind of get built up, so for me to really be just going straight through them and getting a lot of them built up on this mock that just has so many of them is a great sign. It leads me to believe that I'll be able to complete this thing in somewhat of a reasonable time frame, so that's really exciting for me. At the bottom, you can really see that it does look pretty much just like this stylistically on that building on that side, and then even up top it does have a similar styling to that as well, which made it a little bit easier in working on the design for it, because obviously I just had to recount what I did on this side to be able to do it on that side. So all in all, I do think it's looking pretty freaking awesome. I do still have to tile off a lot of those exposed colorful areas, so have no fear that the building is obviously not finished. Still working on that upper half of it. I do have the lights built into it, so you can see right there, those are all lights along the sides of it. So at the end of the video, I will go ahead and turn on the lights for you guys so you can check out what this thing looks like under the Vardos lights. Now, the thing that took me forever to get implemented into this building was surprisingly these posters. These propaganda posters, I've been through so much to make this thing a possibility, and I'm going to try to explain to you guys exactly why it was so difficult for me. So obviously the pictures have to be a very specific size to fit in that window frame. Now, if you guys have never really had to print something and have it be a specific size, then you'll know that it's not the easiest thing in the world. I had to find basically a computer program that allowed me to print these by like their millimeter dimensions, so I could really size it accordingly to that window frame. Like there's no obvious conversion between pixels and millimeters, and then there's also like the DPI you have to take into account. All this mathematical stuff that is just really annoying. So I had to do a lot of work to get these things close to the correct size. So what I also had to do was I had to take these to a local like FedEx print shop because they have a laser printer there. I didn't want these to be laser printed. I just felt like it would make the quality look a little bit better. I do not own a laser printer, so that's why I opted to go with that, aside from just printing them here at my home. So first time I went there, I was able to get everything pretty much printed exactly how I wanted. It all really worked out. I got 4 pictures printed, and it was good to go. So I get home and I start putting I put the picture in over there near the boil lounge, and then I put in this picture right here of the 3 stormtroopers. Then I realized, oh crap, I didn't actually print this picture. Now this wasn't one of the ones that I had someone design for me. Also, wanted to give a shout out to everyone who submitted pictures for me to put into this mock, and if you took your time to design something for me, I really do appreciate that. But nonetheless, I realized I didn't have this picture because this wasn't, no one really designed this for me. There was no obvious conversion between the video game version and the Lego version. So what I had to do is like find a screenshot from the video game, because there was no actual version of this picture online that I could find, and I had to kind of manipulate it to get it to look like a straight head-on view, because the picture I found was kind of at an angle. And that made things a little bit difficult, but it wasn't the worst thing in the world. So I, got what I thought was a finished version of this picture, and I sent it over to the FedEx print shop, and I decided, okay, I'll go after work and go get that thing printed. So I show up there, I print it, and then I realize, holy crap, it's huge. It's not this size at all. It's like taking up half a sheet of paper. So I'm like, okay, what the heck? I did the exact same thing I did with the other pictures, and I resized it, and I thought it was all well and good. But I get home and find out that I basically had the resolution of this picture different than the other ones, which it's difficult to explain, but in a nutshell, it was the same. The picture was the same dimensions by pixels, but it was not the same size on a sheet of paper, which was very annoying. So I got it fixed, and I'm like, okay, the next day after work, I'll show up and I'll get it printed again. So I go in, and I realize after I'm printing it, like the quality is significantly worse. So then I have to go back home, fix the quality. And I go back to the printing shop, and I realize that I emailed myself the wrong one. I emailed myself the incorrect low quality one. So then I have to go back home a 4th time, and then come back to the FedEx print shop, and then I finally got it printed exactly the way I wanted to. So that was a long-winded way for me basically to say it took me a lot of work to get these things actually printed up for you guys. So I do hope that you enjoy it, and if you don't for some reason, at this point, I don't even know if I care, because it took me so much effort to make this thing a possibility. So hopefully you guys like it. If not, then that's just going to have to be a negative for this mock, because I am so done with working on those propaganda pictures. But on a more positive note, I'll actually take you guys back around this side to get a better view of it. You can see it's basically that same design, and what's actually cool about this building is there's a little catwalk between this one and this building over here. So once it gets built up, they'll actually be connected, and you can kind of see when this building is kind of outlined by that orange line. There's another orange line right there. It's kind of hard to see, but there will be another building basically right on the edge of this wall, and it'll be connected to that building up high, and then I'm basically just going to fill in the bottom area with some like water studs. So that'll actually be pretty fun to do. Now, if we come back around this side, you guys will notice that the back side of this thing is completely open. So this is actually a kind of a cool view, so you can see like how I got all the wiring done and things like that. But if you're wondering, Jay, why is that thing open on the back? That's going to look ugly. The very simple version of it is that and there's going to be another building basically behind this one, and I didn't want to just go all out on designing the reverse side of this building and then end up covering up a lot of those details whenever I put the other building behind it. So what I'm going to do instead is just work on the top of this, and then because I know the other building won't be nearly as tall, so it does make total sense for me to continue on the upper section of this building. But then once I start on the building right next to it, I'll figure out what's actually going to be hidden on this side, and then I'll just basically like build around it to make sure I'm not like building things that I don't necessarily have to be building. So that's my kind of reasoning for that, and it'll make a lot more sense once I actually start working on that other building. So all in all, I'm so excited that I have this building almost done. I guess it's a little bit over halfway done, which is pretty cool. Got it all wired up, which is always quite the feat to figure out exactly how I'm going to get the thing lit up. But it's all lit up, and that's pretty cool. And really, the last thing I have to show you while the lights are still on is actually over here. So this is something that I had shown everyone on the live stream. So if you were there, you'll understand why this is kind of funny. But I realized I had a bit of an alleyway here, so I figured why not throw in an Easter egg and put Han Solo's land speeder there. So got him and Kira chilling in the alleyway. I'm probably gonna leave that there. I don't think it's like super obvious. You guys probably didn't really notice exactly what it was until I just pointed it out. And if you did, then kudos to you. You are a smart boyo. But yeah, I'm going to leave that there. We'll see how it looks whenever things get more built up around it. But I thought it was kind of a cool, funny like Easter egg to put in there. So yeah, shout out to Solo. So right now, I'm going to actually pause the video for a sec. I'm going to turn off the lights in the room. I'm going to turn off the lights on the MOC so you guys can see a fully illuminated view of the MOC. And here is our view of Vardos under the lights. I always love this part of the video. It's just so excited to finally see everything kind of, come together with the lights and make it really look like something pretty realistic. So you guys can also see that I did illuminate the backs of both of those pictures, and they look a little bit better than the one over near the Boyo Lounge. It's much easier to make out what these are on the camera. So like I said, in real life it's not nearly as bright. It's much easier to make out exactly what those are supposed to be. But one of the things I didn't realize when I was working on this thing is that this light on the left side was actually going to be kind of blocked by that barricade right there, and I had like built in the light and everything, but I was building it basically from that side, so I didn't actually see exactly where it was going to be pointing down to, which meant that didn't really make sense to have a light there. So I took out the functional light, which is why if you're trying to figure out like why is that one not on, it's just because I took it out. There was no reason to have it there shining through the barricade. It would have been a waste of an LED. So decided it wasn't worth it. But on this side, also got another light. You guys can check that out. And then also in the little alleyway where Han Solo's speeder is, it's kind of hard to get this view, but I'll try my best. There's a light in there as well. So yeah, hopefully you guys can kind of tell what's going on in there. Yeah, so lots more lights. Always exciting to put lights into this thing. Super, super cool. So of course, guys, like let me know exactly what you think about this. Are you feeling this building? How do you feel about the mall? How do you feel about the MOC overall? I'm really loving it. Like this building I feel changes up so much. Really just because this is like the first building that I really paid attention to when I played the map on Vardos, really because it had those propaganda posters on it. But the fact that all that's finally implemented into the MOC, it just really makes it look really close to being complete over here, which is just awesome to me. So, and that's really all I got to show you guys this week. Let's go ahead and proceed to the end of the video. And that's going to finish up the video this week, guys. I do hope that you enjoyed the progress that I made. I do think this MOC is coming along so well. Having that building right there, I think just really changes everything for the aesthetic of this landing platform right here. It's getting to look more and more like a full city with all these buildings going up. And of course, I do appreciate the fact that this building was light gray instead of dark gray, because once again, it adds a little bit, it breaks up a little bit of the monotony of just having a bunch of dark gray. So moving forward, if those orders that I wanted to come in actually do come in, you guys will probably see those two other buildings finished, and probably this building right here finished, and hopefully the building right next to it started, because there's like a little catwalk between this building and the one next to it closest to the wall over there. So hopefully I'll be able to get something started with that. That would be a great scenario. Otherwise, I'll just go all in on these two buildings over here if those orders don't come in between now and the next update. But I'm really counting on that, so wish me luck. But other than that, I also do want to finish up on this side, like that little courtyard right above the Boyo Lounge. Hopefully get that finished up. I did have some cases come in for the trees. That was the one order that I had come in. So now I'm in a position to actually be able to do like a pretty big tree on that side, and hopefully finish up that courtyard over there. So those are my goals for between now and the next update, and we of course will see how that works out. So this week's going to be a pretty special week. Obviously the new year is coming up, and this is actually the last update I'll do before next year, which is kind of crazy to think about. This year is the obviously best year for my YouTube channel in terms of growth and all that stuff. I started my first build series. Now I'm kind of nearing the middle / last 3/4 of my second build series, which is just weird to think about, like considering like last year I really wasn't doing anything like this so actively on YouTube. So it's been a great ride. Both of these build series have been just awesome for me, and I really hope that you guys have enjoyed them as well. Considering the growth of my channel has experienced, I would say you guys probably have. But I do work hard each and every day to make sure that I have something special for you guys whenever the next update comes out. So thanks to everyone who has been here from the beginning, everyone who has joined up until as recently as yesterday. I appreciate all of you guys for supporting this channel, and I will continue to work hard to give you something special on the next update. So that's going to finish it up. Like I always say, guys, if you like what I do, go ahead, support this video by smashing the like button, support the channel by smashing that subscribe button, and I will be back again very soon.